In 1979, the Holt Agency brought over a 3-year-old named Shin Sung-hyuk and placed him with a Christian family in the States. As an adult, he learned that because of an oversight during the adoption process, he wasn't a U.S. citizen. And at the age of 41, he found out that he was going to be deported back to Korea. What have you been doing to prepare for a life in what is essentially a foreign country to you?
I have a little book that it's like a tourist book kind of. I try to learn a little bit of, some of the words, and this is a pretty difficult situation to go through. I know I've been separated from my family, I've been separated from the people I care about and the life that I know, and I'm about to go somewhere that's going to be completely foreign to me.
When he first arrived in America, Sung-hyuk's new family changed his name to Adam, but they didn't fill out the H-3 document, a routine form that grants citizenship to international adoptees. 6 years later, Adam's adopted parents decided they didn't want him anymore and called an adoption agency. The adoption agency called Jackie Fleming.
I was told by the social worker that his welfare was seriously in danger. So I dropped everything and I went with her to pick him up. And he was sitting on the curb waiting for us to come get him. He was 62 pounds, very quiet. He didn't seem to show a lot of emotion. I could tell that he was very depressed and just totally didn't know where he belonged.
Are there any memories you have of those first days that you were with him?
Well, he wasn't really responding too much to us at that time. And as time grew on, we got closer to him, and at night he would always, at first I had to coax him to come sit in the chair with me, and then later on he would show up every night to sit in that chair with me. So I took it upon myself. I called Children's Services and asked them about Adam, we'd like to be on the list to adopt him. And they said, well, we've already got a list of families in line. I wasn't allowed to see him anymore. For 32 years, we were thinking he was happy.
After living with Jackie and her family for more than a year, Adam was adopted by another family, the Krapsers, who lived in Salem, Oregon. The abuse started almost as soon as Adam moved in. He was beat with a 2x4, burned, and thrown in piles of dog feces. The Krapsers had several adopted kids, and none of them were spared. Thomas and Dolly Krapser would ultimately be convicted on charges of physical and sexual abuse. We reached out to the Krapsers for comment, but did not hear back. Do you have anything to say to the family that adopted you?
Understand that children grow up to be adults, and they carry around with them everything that you show them or do to them, you affect them. I don't give them the power to know that they destroyed my life.
When he was still a teenager, Adam broke into the Krapsers' home to take back the only possessions he had brought with him from Korea, a pair of rubber shoes and a Korean language Bible. He was caught and sentenced to 2 years in prison. Settled down. He had a barbershop, worked on cars, got married, and started a family. By then, Adam realized that his immigration papers had never been filed. And in 2012, he applied for a green card, which triggered a background check by the Department of Homeland Security. By law, Adam was an undocumented immigrant and a convicted felon. ICE opened up deportation proceedings in 2015.
I always considered myself American. I just never could get my foot in the door and be this American I wanted to be. Adoption is a hard thing to deal with your whole life usually. And a lot of people carry around a lot of hard feelings. A lot of people, like me, don't know what it's like to grow up in stability or to have a family, I'd be lying if I said I'm not terrified, but it's mixed with a little bit of excitement. It's mixed with a little bit of finality, for me.
Three weeks after Adam's deportation, I met him in Seoul.
I think about killing myself every single day that I'm here, and I'm not really that guy, but being here is it's a reality that's really hard to deal with. I spent 38 years of my life in the States, and I killed myself for 20 of those years just to be able to make a stable life for myself and have a family. And now I'm here living out of a couple suitcases.